I wish now to introduce our keynote speaker, Philip Mandel. Mr. Mandel has served as a scholar in residence today in the 8th grade language arts classes. Philip Mandel is an associate of the Holocaust survivor, Alter Wiener, who unfortunately was unable to not to be with us today. Mr. Mandel has been very gracious today to speak on behalf of Mr. Wiener. Philip Mandel has been speaking today about one of the darkest experiences in the human history, the Holocaust. We understand that it is expected for people to learn from their mistakes. Also, as caring people, we are conditioned to look for glimpses of good in even the most difficult of times. Today we welcome Philip Mandel as our keynote speaker for the warm presentation of the Baker Prairie Peace Prize. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Philip Mandel.
Good afternoon. Normally I would say thank you for coming. In this case, I'm going to say congratulations for being here. Not just the nominees, but all of you, especially the school kids. Why do I say that? The kids who have already sat through my classroom presentation heard that I shared something that I will show you. Give me just a second, please. Regarding Alter Wiener, the Holocaust survivor, that I am privileged to speak for. How he, when he was, it's going to take too long to find, I'm sorry, I'll just talk about it. When, after the Germans invaded his hometown in Poland, he was prohibited from going to school anymore. His formal education ended at the age of 13. Years after the war, he had a difficult time making a living because he had no education, no skills. When he finally moved to New York City, he used to clean toilets to make a living. And I shared with the students that I've spoken with already that Alter tried to get into Brooklyn College to learn accounting. And they said, "Where is your high school diploma?" He said, "I don't have a certificate from high school. I didn't finish even elementary school," because he was prohibited from going to school from the age of 13. He wanted to improve himself, so the only choice he had was to learn on his own, submit a test to New York State, and get his high school equivalency certificate at the age of 35. Alter has received over 50,000 letters since he started speaking in the year 2000 and wrote his book in 2007. Many of those letters are from school-aged kids thanking him for his presentation, saying, "I had planned to drop out of school until I heard your presentation or read your book. And because you had such a difficult life, having had your education cut short, I've decided to stay at school." So whether you had ever planned to drop out or not, I congratulate you, and I hope you are as appreciative as I am to live in this blessed country where education, at least through 12th grade, is a right afforded to everyone who lives here. So congratulate yourselves for being here. Let me explain a little bit who I am. I'm, of course, not a Holocaust survivor. I'm too young. I was born in 1953. But my parents had lived in Vienna, and after the Germans invaded, they both narrowly escaped, my father through Italy and my mother through England. And they met up again in the New York area. All of my family managed to escape in time before the mass incarcerations and mass killings. So how I learned about Hitler and the Holocaust was when I was a kid, even starting younger than you. Whenever a documentary was on television about Hitler or about the Holocaust, I have very, very vivid memory of my mother sitting glued to the television and crying. And I have to tell you, I never, ever saw my mother cry except during stories on television about Hitler and about the Holocaust. That made a big, big impression on me about Hitler and about the Holocaust. And fast forward to the year 1999 where I first met Walter Wiener. That's the first time that I was aware of meeting an actual Holocaust survivor, someone who had actually been imprisoned in forced labor camps and in concentration camps. When he started speaking in the year 2000, I started going to his presentations. I have now been to probably 30 or 40 of his presentations, and I have to tell you, I'm a grown man. Men don't cry easily. I cry every single time because it's so heartbreaking and so touching. As I mentioned earlier, school-age children change their minds about dropping out of school. He also has dozens of letters from both youngsters and adults who had planned on committing suicide and decided not to. In other words, his life story actually saves lives. He has hundreds of letters from people who changed their minds about suicide, dropping out of school, running away from home. All these people changed their minds after hearing his story or reading his book. The thought then occurred to me that since his life story is so important and so inspiring, he can never die. But he assures me that at the age of 87, he's getting close. I keep saying, Alter, I need you around until every single person on earth has heard your story. But he said, nah, I don't think I'm going to last that long. So I thought, well, I have to preserve him somehow. He has already preserved himself, thank goodness, in the form of the book that I had up there earlier. From a Name to a Number. Very, very powerful book. But up until that time, he wasn't preserved in video, in bits that are, except for, I would say, amateur cell phone videos taken from his presentations. So I thought, I need to preserve him and his live presentation forever, so we created a video that you can find online if you go to his website, alterwiener.com. You'll be able to watch the video that we shot when he spoke at Beaverton Library last year. And if you're on Facebook, you can go to facebook.com/FromAName and like it if you feel like you want to. So we have his entire presentation in HD video, and I hope you'll make an effort to watch it sometime. But still, that's just a live presentation, and not everyone is going to watch that because it's just a person speaking. I thought, what's the best way to reach millions and millions of people? You tell me. Movies, exactly right. I thought this has to be a movie, like Schindler's List type movie, so that we can really reach the entire world. So I assembled a team, and we are in development on a feature film based on Alter's life story. It's still a few years away, so don't hold your breath. But once we get funding and get some traction, you'll know about it when it comes out. It could be 3 to 5 years still, but it'll happen. I've never made a film before. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I have such strong passion for this that I know how to find people who know what they're doing. So someday there will be a feature film. I don't know the title yet, but it'll come. In the meantime, another person who has already produced a movie, she's going to be producing a documentary based on this life story. I hope I'm inspiring you enough to at least take a look at the book and consider reading it and also watching the video. People who read the book and then post reviews on Amazon have posted, this is a slightly outdated slide, but there are now over 430 reviews on Amazon. About 98% are 4-star and 5-star reviews. So it's a very, very highly rated. And in fact, it was ranked recently number 22 out of 40 million books on Amazon, ranked by customer review. One of the points Alter makes in his book, and when he speaks, give me 1 second, is the following. When he was first captured in 1942, he was 15 years old, and he was taken to Blechemer, forced labor camp in Germany. Upon arrival, he was beaten for no reason. But on the very first day marching to work, he noticed something very, very intriguing. He assumed that just because he was a Jewish boy, that he had been captured and put to work. But then he noticed that there were many, many different badges on the other prisoners who were marching to the same working place. Who were they? Jehovah's Witnesses, gypsies, homosexuals, Ukrainians, basically anyone that Hitler didn't like, which was almost everyone. What did he learn? Every Jew was a victim, but not every victim was a Jew. And he asks that you please remember that. Every Jew was a victim, but not every victim was a Jew. Alter has received an honorary bachelor's degree from Warner Pacific College, honoring him for his efforts not only in writing the book, but in doing so much public speaking. He has received an honorary law degree from Lewis and Clark Law School. I just found out this morning that your school district was kind enough to honor him with one of the pillars in the Circle of Peace. I took pictures of that on the way in, and I emailed them to him, and I just got off the phone with him, and he said he's very, very grateful. He feels deeply touched and honored and sends his thanks to the school district for that. And just last weekend, he was honored by the Daughters of the American Revolution with one of their highest honors given to a non-member. He's obviously not a daughter. It's called the Americanism Medal, and it's given only once a year by each of the chapters. He got the Oregon Chapter Medal Americanism Award, which is given specifically to someone who came from a foreign country, immigrated to America, and has done a lot to help change the lives and improve the lives of Americans. I myself consider it a great honor that he trusts me to tell his life story for him, and that he has given me the rights to the movie, And again, I encourage you to take a look at his website and watch his presentation, and above all, read the book. And if you do read the book, I hope you will be kind enough to consider posting a review. Add yours to the 430 reviews that are already there. It's very simple. You just go to the book on Amazon, click on Create Your Own Review, and it's self-explanatory from there. Again, I thank you for this honor. I know that Alter does as well. We're filming this so I can share this with Honor, and I know that he'll smile. And again, thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you, Philip Mandel, to inspire us all.